Hello everyone. Today I was going to show you how to make these beaded fidget octopi. These were actually done by, I took my original little octopus pattern and made some modifications to it. I'll actually show somewhere up there a little link showing the original pattern. They've been modified to create slightly different. This one though, I'd put the eyes together a little bit too close, so he looks a little funky, not very fun. So just showing you some difference with the evolution of this. I did place, if you've seen my hedgehog video, the beads are put on differently on this one. I tried to add the beads like I did with the hedgehog, and they turned out very horribly. I'll see if I can put a quick little photo in here to show that. But to make these are using some simple supplies. For these instead, I'll be using 10mm safety eyes. We'll need a pair of scissors, a darning needle for weaving in ends. I'm using a main hook of 3.5mm, but I'm also using a 2mm hook also. That's for fitting on the beads. You can use any size hook that your beads will fit onto. It won't fit onto my 3.5mm, so I'm using a 2mm in order to add your beads. Now our beads that we're going to use, these are simple 6x9mm pony beads. And then I'm using just some basic number 4 weight yarn to create them. And we'll also need some polyfill. To begin, we're going to create a magic ring. So to create that, hold your yarn between your thumb and forefinger, wrap around, working end towards the end. Take your working end, lay it back. Put your hook between your 2 fingers and grab that working end and pull it up. And then chain 1 to secure your magic ring. And now you have your magic ring. Now with row 1, we're going to put 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Now that we have our 6 single crochets, pull our tail end of our magic ring in order to close. And there we are for round 1. Now for this pattern, we're working in the round, so there's no chain 1 or slip stitch at the beginning or ends of the rounds. I did that with my original. I'm taking it off because we don't need it. So for round 2, we're going to work just right into that first single crochet from round 1. We're going to put 2 single crochets into each of your next 6 stitches. And I am working in my tail end around as I go. And this round, row 2, will have 12 stitches made. And there we are for row 2. For row 3, we're going to put 2 single crochets into your first stitch, 1 single crochet into your second stitch, and we're going to repeat that 5 more times. 2 single crochets into your first, 1 single crochet into your second, and this round will have 18 total stitches. And there we are for round 3. For round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets into your first stitch, 1 single crochet into your next 2 stitches, and we're going to repeat that 5 more times. 2 single crochets into your first stitch, 1 single crochet into your next 2 stitches, and this round we'll end up having a total of 24 stitches made. And there we are for the end of round 4. Now for rounds 5 through 12, we're going to single crochet once into your next 24 stitches. Or another way, because I'm just working straight through, single crochet 192 times. All right, here we are. I've just finished round 12. Or another way I like to look at it, it's easier for me, single crochet 192. For rounds 13, we're going to decrease and then single crochet into your next 2 stitches. And then we'll repeat that 5 more times, decrease, single crochet in your next 2, and round 13 we'll have 18 stitches. And there we are for the end of round 13. Now for round 14, we're going to be working. If we look at our work, we have front loops on this side, back loops on the inside. We're going to work in the front loops only for from round 13. And into our first 2 stitches, we're going to single crochet twice, or single crochet into your next 2 stitches. And then we're going to make a tentacle. So we're going to chain 10. And now I'm going to remove my 3.5 millimeter and start using my 2 millimeter. What I'm going to do is pick up a bead. Well, into that first, we'll skip that first chain into the next chain. We're going to single crochet once and then grab our bead, put it onto the hook, go into that same stitch and single crochet again. And then into each chain, we're just going to repeat that going down, single crochet, pick up a bead. So we have our bead on our hook, we have our loop, go into the stitch, grab our working end, pull up, we have a loop, yarn over, go through your yarn, through the center of the bead, and out through your last loop. And we're going to do this until we have 8 beads on our tentacle. All right, now we have our 8 beads on. Into our last chain, we're going to single crochet 2 times. And there we are. Here's our little tentacle. And just so you know that doing multiple single crochets into multiple stitches into a chain is what causes it to do that little twisting thing to it. I had at my last show, a person was amazed at how they got to twist. So just a little tip. I also did with my fidgets or my wind spinners pattern. That is just adding multiple stitches into the previous row, which causes it to make that twisting effect. Also with my same thing I did with my loofah, crochet loofah. All right, now we're going to single crochet into our next 2 stitches using front loops only. And then chain 10. And then you're going to skip that first chain, work into the second chain from your hook, single crochet, pick up the bead, same stitch, single crochet around the bead, a single crochet, and then a bead. And we're going to repeat until we have 8 beads on our tentacle, or at the only 1 chain left. And then into our last chain, single crochet twice. And we're going to repeat how we did these last 2 tentacles 2 more times. So I'll meet you back once we have 4 tentacles made. All right, now we are here. We've gotten our 4 tentacles so far made. And then into our next stitch, we're going to single crochet once. And then essentially we're going to start our tentacles again. So you start with, once again, still that front loop only, 2 single crochets. And then we're going to continue with the tentacle, so chain 10. And then single crochet in your second chain from the end. Pick up a bead, add it on, single crochet into the next stitch, pick up a bead, and again single crochet with that bead on there into that same stitch, a single crochet, a single crochet with the bead, single crochet, then a single crochet with the bead,
Give me back my finger
single crochet, add a bead and single crochet into the same, single crochet into your next, and then single crochet twice into your last chain, and then we're just going to repeat until we have our next 4 tentacles, so 8 tentacles total. And remember, in your front loops only, you're putting 2 single crochets in between each tentacle. All right, now I've just finished up my 8th total tentacle. Now into our last stitch, we're just going to single crochet into there. I'm going to pull up a long loop. Well, here we are. We've got all 8 tentacles. Now, where we have our working end, go to the opposite side. Here is the side where we have the 3 single crochets in between 4 and 4. Right here is where the face of our octopus is going to be. So for these, I like to go up 1, 2, 3, right into that 4th row. And I like to keep mine spaced out a little bit, so it's kind of at the end of that first tentacle. And then right across also, just kind of slip it in. And I like to look for about 5 stitches in between. Now you can play around, move your eyes around wherever you wish until you know what fits best that you enjoy. That's the most important, is how you want to make them. I like them because I have the bigger eyes a little bit farther apart. Once you have those set, take your backs for your safety eyes. And then with the open end down, the little pointy end up, push them on, and that secures your safety eyes. Now, moving forward, I'm going to switch back to my 3.5 millimeter hook. So for round 15, we're going to work again into the back loops this time. You can see them right here. And those were the back loops from round 13. So for round 15, we're going to use those back loops, and we're going to decrease all the way around a total of 9 times. All right, and then there I'm going to again pull up another big loop. I'm going to start taking my polyfill and stuffing my octopus body. So you can stuff it as full or as light as you want. So for our final round, round 16, we're going to come in and working in both loops now, we're going to decrease 4 times. Now we got one singular stitch left. Just go ahead and single crochet into there. Pull up your loop, tie off. Now for finishing this off, to make it a nice seamless close, I do like to go into your front loops right here, the ones pointing up closest to you. Just make a little loop into all 5 of those. Pull tight to close. And see, it keeps it nice and closed. And then you weave in your ends and you're all set. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a little thumbs up, like. Let me know in the comment section. And if you have yet to subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button with that bell notification next to it so you can get a heads up every time I post a new video. Have a wonderful day.